TT Productions, bringing adventures to audio.
The bubonic plague, the scourge of the British Isles during the latter 17th century, amongst other times.
But his face! Are we in danger?
Ordinarily, I'd say no. The plague was transmitted by a bacteria called Yersinia pestis. It was transmitted by fleas carried on rodents, like rats and squirrels.
And you said that a squirrel wasn't behind all this. So, am I right in thinking that this period in history doesn't have antibiotics?
I'm afraid so, but there is something more concerning than that.
What?
The others were telling me that the plague kills in around 48 hours, and now that I've seen Dr. Mead, I'm convinced.
It's mutated, hasn't it?
Yes, becoming more aggressive.
But can we help these people?
Neveah, we may not be able to help ourselves. I can't give these people antibiotics. It would have a radical effect on the timeline, and even then...
What is it?
If the plague has mutated, a new antibiotic would need to be synthesized. That could take weeks, more.
Then we better get started.
Neveah, this version of Yersinia pestis could kill everyone here in as little as 24 hours, including us.
I suppose it would be too much to hope for that we might be immune? You know, because we aren't from around here?
I'm not sure we can take the risk. I'm going to have to take a DNA sample from Dr. Mead and take it back to the TARDIS for analysis.
So you do intend on helping them then?
I'm not sure if I should.
What do you mean? Your technology can help these people. Why wouldn't you?
Neveah, please understand me. I want to help them. I really do. But first, I need to be sure that I'm not going to alter history.
But surely, if it's just a few people, then...
Saving just one person can have an incalculable effect on the timeline. Neveah, you're a time traveler now. You need to start thinking like one. Save the wrong life, and you may do millions to die.
And how do you know, How do you make that call?
Many centuries' experience. There is something wrong here. I really don't like not having all the information.
What is it? What's wrong? The mutation?
Yes, that, and the fact I hadn't heard of Gloamwood before.
Like I said before, you can't possibly know all.
Neither did the TARDIS. The TARDIS didn't recognize the village either.
I take it that's bad?
Not in a hole in the space-time continuum way, but in a lack of documented history makes me nervous kind of way. Make sense?
No.
Good.
Why would there be no history about this village? Unless
the village didn't exist for very long.
Oh, my stars. I don't feel... Hugh! I need help!
Hey, Cybil? Edward, help me with her!
Mrs. Bennett!
Cybil, can you hear me? Cybil! Are you happy now? See what you done allowing this Black Death in your house?
Quickly! We must get her to the ward, so she can rest.
I'll not help you dump my wife with a second dying. She has her own bed. She'll go there.
Then let me assist.
No, you've done enough. I've got you, love. Love, I've got you.
We heard a commotion.
What happened?
It's Mrs. Bennett. She's been taken ill.
Doctor, eh? Please help her! Help her!
I don't know if I...
Please!
Doctor?
I must fetch some equipment from the village. It's the only way I'll be able to help.
You're leaving? How? But she needs help! She's dying and you're running out on us! What kind of doctor are you? You're worse than all the others!
It's okay, Mr. Bennett. I'll help you with her. The doctor will fetch what he needs and return to help. Won't you, Doctor?
I'll be as quick as I can.
Mr. Bennett, let's get your wife up to the wardroom.
I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there.
Mr. Bennett, my understanding is that this disease is not spread from person to person. She will be just as safe in the ward as anywhere. And there, the doctor can treat his patients more efficiently. Father Gray, would you mind helping Mr. Bennett, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Neveah. I admire a woman who can take charge of the situation.
Husband, a word in the dining room.
Mrs. Cavendish certainly knows how to take charge. You'd better go.
With your permission, Miss Neveah.
She's bossier than my mother. Watch your back, Mr. C. Oh, Amelia, you made me jump. What is it about people creeping around in this village?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Neveah. I didn't mean to startle you.
Were you listening in?
I'm sorry. Yes, I was.
Did you hear everything I just said?
Yes, Miss. Oh, but don't worry. I think she can be frightfully bossy too. Mrs. Bennett says it's because she loves me and wants to look after me. How is Mrs. Bennett?
She'll be okay. I'm sure the doctor can help.
It's just she's always been like a second mother to me. I don't think I wouldn't want.
Oh, hey, shh, come on. We will do everything we can for her. The doctor will be able to help. He's a pretty special kind of person.
Who is he? Where are you both from? Excuse me asking, but you do seem to have come a long way.
What makes you say that?
I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You're right, though. We have traveled a long way. As for the doctor, well, he's...
Yes, miss?
I don't really know. We haven't known each other for very long. He helps people. That's what he does. He travels around and helps those in need.
Can he help us?
I know that he will try.
I see the weather is worsening.
What in God's great name are you doing, Edward?
What do you mean?
I have never been so embarrassed in my whole life. If it isn't bad enough that you have allowed the plague to take roots in our household, but now you make inappropriate advances towards another woman.
Darling, it was intended as a compliment. Just a compliment, nothing more.
Don't give me that. We don't even know who she is. Have you noticed that when the two of them arrived, the situation went from bad to worse? They could have brought their miasma in with them, for all we know.
Dr. Mead was convinced that the miasma wasn't real, that the contagion has spread some other way.
And where did Dr. Mead's beliefs get him, pray tell?
Darling, listen to yourself. I understand you're frightened, but we have a duty to our community.
And what of your family? Do you care so little about your daughter? Me?
You know that's not true.
Sometimes I wonder.
Very well. Amelia shall help in the kitchen in Mrs. Bennett's absence. She will not be allowed anywhere near the wardroom. However, she will be kept sensitively informed of proceedings.
But
she is a clever girl, stronger than we both give her credit for. If she is to thrive, we must not shield her from the harsher realities. I would rather guide her through this than lie and pretend all is fine when it is not.
very well.
I will also aspire to be more aware of how and to whom I direct my compliments in the future.
Yes, husband, that would be of great help.
Now then, we must help where we can. What should we do?
You're asking my opinion?
I married a strong woman who could take charge of a situation, didn't I?
But if Miss Bennett was infected by proximity to the patients, then that would mean that the infection was most likely spread by air or by...
Talking to yourself?
Mr. Jethro, I'm afraid talking to myself has become something of a habit. Very nice to see you again.
Oh, you be the only one who thinks so. Not many give me the time of day round here.
In my experience, social pariahs are often the only people brave enough to share unpopular opinions and intelligent enough to see that there is another option to be had in the first place.
So, am I the social parrot then?
Pariah.
What's that?
Outcast, castaway, outsider, deportee.
You talk a lot, don't you? You're not like the other doctors, that's for sure.
Tell me about the other doctors. Why do they scare you so much?
They don't talk to us. They treat us all like we don't exist, unless we're sick. They take us away, but I follows them, see? I follows them. They don't know.
And where do they go, these doctors? Where do they take the sick?
They takes them to the nowhere.
The nowhere.
The nowhere. In the forest.
Sounds interesting. Can you show me?
No. We can't go there. I seen them coming out of the forest. They'll be heading up to the manor by now. We need to hide. They might come through the village.
Jethro, if you can show me where they come from, maybe I can...
No time now, no time. Watch yourself, mister. They're coming for us all.
The nowhere. Note to self. Add visit to the nowhere to the to-do list. To-do list. First, though, TARDIS.
Let me help you with that.
All done now, thanks.
A lady shouldn't be expected to bring in the firewood.
And why not?
It isn't proper in a household such as this. I should have done that in Mr. Bennett's absence.
Father Grey, isn't it?
Yes, Miss Neveah. I attend to Gloamwood's parishioners.
I see. So you are the religious leader in this village.
In a manner of speaking, yes. I've always preferred to think of myself as a guide, a teacher rather than a leader.
Then I ask the teacher, why would men be allowed to do certain activities and women not?
I see you are a very spirited lady, Miss Neveah. Things must be very different from where you come from. You clearly have travelled far.
They can be different, yes. And why do you say I've traveled far?
Forgive me, miss, but your name, your manner, even the way you talk is somehow of the worldly.
I shall take that as a compliment. How are Mr. and Mrs. Bennett?
Well, Mrs. Bennett is no better, sadly. In fact, she seems to be deteriorating rapidly. Mr. Bennett can see this also, I fear. I believe that he has already begun to grieve for her, and all I can do is give him hope.
I'm sure hope will arrive in some form or other.
Father Grey, Neveah, I saw them from the window. The doctors are coming.
Let's see if this new console room is up to spec. DNA sampler. One sneaky swab from Dr. Mead into the reader. Right then, I'll go. You can cook that for a while and see what's going on. Next, Gloamwood. What's your story? Where are you? Gloamwood, you don't appear to exist. Why is that? What happened to you? Don't give me that, old girl. Unknown chemical. Unknown? Don't tell me you've been flummoxed by a 17th century bit of spit. Let's try that again. So, what are you telling me? That there is an unidentifiable substance on a biosample from a 17th century plague victim? Well, I could have told you that. What I do find interesting is that you don't know what it is. Regardless of your breadth of travel, I refuse to believe that you don't recognize. Aha! A partial protein. What is that supposed to mean? A complex amino acid that defies explanation? Come on, old girl. Complex proteins should be child's play for you. You've got this. Some form of enzyme. Well, that doesn't bode well. So, basically, you're telling me that there is an unknown enzyme in this patient. No. It's enzyme plus. It isn't just an enzyme on its own, is it? That could be why you're struggling with it. Yes, I know that doesn't reassure me at all. This enzyme has been manufactured, hasn't it? I'm going to give you some more time to ponder on this. In the meantime, antibiotics for Knowhere and myself. A precautionary measure given the circumstances. Just program the food machine to produce medication. 2 doses of moxie, whatever. No. Or is that doxycycline? We'll go for the prophylaxis. I know you've only got capacity for 2 doses. That will have to do, won't it? Yes, I know. I'll be careful.
Father Grey, please let Hugh know that hope has arrived.
Amelia, what are they?
Surely you've seen a plague doctor before.
They look different where I'm from. What's with the pointy masks?
I think they're for the miasma.
Miasma?
Now, Amelia. Your mother doesn't want you to put at risk. Please, go and attend to her.
What?
Amelia, now is not the moment to be defiant. Off you go.
I could do with a warm drink, actually, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well.
Thank you, Amelia.
We can't have the young lady exposed to all this.
What are you afraid of? The miasma?
The world is just a very frightening place sometimes. Now I sound like my wife. The miasma, who wouldn't be afraid? At least the doctors are here now to purify the house with their censures.
The smoke things that they were carrying.
Where do you say that you're from again?
Traken, actually.
Is that in the Westermoreland?
I doubt it. You didn't answer my question.
About the miasma? The doctors use the herbs and the censures to chase away the vapors in the air. They also pack their masks with the herbs as well for their protection. Burning them produces a smoke that, well, chases away the vapors, so to speak.
You don't sound convinced.
In truth, I am not entirely.
And why not?
Dr. Mead, it's suspected that the Black Death was caused by something else entirely. For example, something in our food.
Interesting thoughts. The doctors seem to think differently, though. I noticed they didn't speak to anyone when they came in.
They never do.
Is there a reason for that?
My wife chooses to believe that they stay silent as a mark of respect to the sick and dying. Mr. Bennett thinks they don't deign talk to us because we are unclean.
And you, what do you think of the doctors?
I believe that they're trying to help in the only way they can, but
But
I'm not sure. They have a certain arrogance. They are here to perform a service, and that is all. It must affect them to be around so much death all the time. They can seem so unfeeling. For example, I've seen one of them sling a body over their shoulder, as if it was nothing, just meat. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be distressing you with all this, Miss Neveah. Please, accept my apologies.
do I look distressed, Mr. Cavendish? No, I'm more suspicious.
Of the doctors.
Yes, you could say that I don't completely approve of their methods.
Sure, it's nothing. It must be harrowing existence for them.
In which case, they might need some support.
Oh, where are you going? Surely we should leave the doctors to their work.
And today I find myself being a doctor's assistant without a doctor to assist. So I'm going to find one.
Good girl. Best to stay away from the doctors while they work. They'll have the house sanctified before too long.
I pray it works.
It will, my darling. It must.
Mother,
Yes, my sweet.
why didn't we leave the village with the others?
And where would we go?
Perhaps to London? We could have stayed with the people that Father knows.
Amelia, London has dangers of its own. No, we are much safer in the country. Oh, don't look at me like that. We must persevere.
No.
What do you mean, no? Honestly, child, you have become so... Amelia? What's wrong?
Mother, I don't feel well.
Please, why would you talk to me? Please, can you help my wife? She's dying and I can't. Please help her. Please help her.
Hi, excuse me. Is there anything I can help with? Oh, okay. A simple excuse me would have been fine.
Come and stand with me, miss. They don't like to be interrupted.
Wait, Cybil. Hey, Cybil. What's that?
I think Dr. Mead has passed. I'm so sorry.
Leave him. He's dead, but my wife is still breathing. She needs your help.
What are they doing?
They'll take his body and prepare him for burial. May he rest in peace.
Please, leave him, please! Help my wife! Ah!
Hey, you can't do that.
Now, see here. You can't treat him like that.
He's only concerned about his wife. Hey, where are you going?
Mr. Bennett, are you injured?
Please, just leave me alone.
Do they always treat you like that?
No, but they don't like people getting too close.
I'm gonna talk to them.
Do what you like. They won't answer you.
So these must be the associates of the local GP's office. I can see why you unsettle old Jethro. What are you carrying? Erstwhile Dr. Mead, I imagine. Young fellow, you need to get this medication to Neveah.
Oh, Doc. I'm glad to see you. Did you see the plague doctors? They just left.
Yes, a very foreboding bunch. Quickly, before I forget, take this medication. I've already had a dose. It should help reduce the risk of infection.
So, we're staying to help then?
Was there any doubt?
To be honest, yes. But just for a moment.
Is anyone else sick?
No, just Cybil. But Doctor, the plague doctors just carried away.
Dr. Mead, yes, I saw.
They barged past Mr. Bennett and left, as if they didn't care.
You brought the miasma into my house. You brought it in, and now my daughter is... My daughter is... My poor baby.
Not Amelia.
What has happened?
It was him. The doctor and his girl have brought the miasma upon us, and now our daughter is sick. She lies, even now, by the kitchen fire. The delirium of fever taking her, because of you.
My Amelia. I must go to her.
Is that true, Doctor? Have you brought ruin on us? Huh? Lady's daughter? My wife?
No, of course not. I can assure you, I'm here to help. I just needed...
Where is this help? You left us when we needed you. You just left my wife to die!
That's not true. The doctor wouldn't do that.
Stay out of this, girl. You have no place here either. Mr. Bennett, kindly eject the doctor from my house.
But if you do that, there will be nobody to look after your wife.
Then you'll have to stay.
Let me go or out.
Or you'll what? What do you do?
Don't hurt him, Neveah. He's just scared.
How could someone like that hurt me?
You'd be surprised.
He's actually quite strong, Doctor.
Just leave her alone. Let her leave with me or let us both help.
Get him out.
Into the ward with you, my girl.
Ah!
You're not thinking straight. Mr. Bennett, your wife's best chance for survival.
Is to be far away from you.
You heard the lady, Doctor.
All right, I'll leave if that would make you feel better. But there was me thinking you were all too well-bred than to throw a man out into the storm.
Great suggestion, Doctor. If I throw you out the window, there ain't anything but the courtyard and well below. Will your precious doctor's skills help you then?
There is really no need to... Hugh, stop. Hugh...